have very dark, dreary days where I feel like the anointing is lost. There's no more presence of God. There's no more hope. All creativity is gone. All inspiration is gone. And I have no motivation. That's the best way to describe it for a worker and an artist. No motivation, no inspiration. It's gone. Okay. Always say to yourself, this precedes a new cycle. The end of old cycles mark the beginning of new cycles. There's a brief hiatus there. It's like a tsunami where the whole beach is clear. There's no water coming in. And that precedes a flood, a surge. It's the same way. So always say that to yourself when you have these dark, dreary days where there's nothing happening and you feel like nothing is going to happen. This precedes a flood. Want happiness. The opposite to that is depression, where nothing is happening. And billions of dollars are made because we think we need them. Why? Because we don't want to do the hard work of delving into childhood traumas and why we are depressed and getting rid of sick relationships and repenting of sins and bad habits which caused horrible depression and just a wasted life. And we don't want to change our lifestyle. Our diet, I believe the diet is 50% of it. I really do. Judging on how I respond to foods, I've had to learn what's best for me. And it takes a lot of hard work. It's just so much easier to take a Xanax, a pill, a little pill that looks so innocent and is so easy to get, but which will wreck your life. The paradox and the delusion is, it seems to work at first. It seems to give you a good night's sleep at last. It seems to give you a little up, a little more energy, but that's only brief. The long-term problems are about to happen, and they are horrific. We are either grading with the universe or flowing with it. Just mistake after mistake and delays and unhappiness, or it's just synchronicity. Everything's working out. Magic coincidences. That seems to be the flow. And then there's long periods of a plateau where nothing is happening. Just nothing seems to be increasing or changing. You're just doing the same routine every day and nothing's improving. And then you have periods of acceleration where everything is coming together so fast you don't have time to celebrate. That's the way life is. But understanding that gives you the skill set to ride the wave, to ride it out, and to see that if you feel like hell today, it may be a sign that tomorrow your whole life will change. See things that way. Persevere through the bad wave. Ride it out. Suicide is only temporary. I mean, it's permanent, but it's to solve a temporary problem. And drugs do not work. Street drugs or otherwise prescribed. Prescribed will destroy your life. And that's what these videos are about. Learn to see the synchronicities of life. And I almost think that those days that are so dark and dreary are just a test by God to test our faith. Faith is based on things unseen. If things aren't working out, obviously you don't see the miracles. You don't see it, but you still have faith. And if you have faith, ride that wave, and that next day, bright and cheery. I didn't realize till years later, after a couple decades of being in a slump from antidepressant drugs I took for only 2 weeks, that it completely changes your central nervous system. I was not Karen anymore. I even took on another name. I didn't know who I was. I was searching for where am I? What am I? Why is everybody mistreating me? I wasn't myself. I was somebody else. I was just dulled down. And it was a terrifying situation. It was like being in a cage where somebody's trying to put me to sleep, and I kept trying to say to them, you don't know who I am, you don't understand. Why are you mistreating me? You don't understand my predicament. But I couldn't say it, couldn't talk it, while they were trying to put me to sleep. Like an animal. It was like a caged animal. Antidepressants after they changed my entire central nervous system, and I am so lucky to be here today. Everything I went through was just a marketing trick. They're marketing these drugs. I ate it up, and I went through hell. They won and I lost. But seeing the silver lining, everything I learned by trying to get out of it, the cage, gave me a skill set about human nature. I now know about humans. They'll love you when you're up, and they'll hate you when you're down, and they'll try to take advantage of you. They'll flow in and take everything you have. That's the truth. And I had to learn that, I guess. I guess I was just too trusting of human nature. I had been sheltered, and I was naive. And I had to learn. I thought all old people were nice. I just had these illusions. Oh, they had to be shattered, and shattered they were. Now, when they are prescribed, doctors never say, now these drugs are going to change your entire nervous system. No, they say these will make you feel better. Iatrogenesis, the name of the video. Iatrogenesis, treatment-induced harm. The doctors have done you harm, the drugs have done you harm. As hard as it is to believe it, after years later you're going to see it. As I look back, I cannot believe the things I said and did and put up with. I was in another world. It was just iatrogenesis. Now, all psychoactive chemicals, antidepressants, antipsychotics, benzos, sleeping medications, make you dependent on them by definition. And by stopping abruptly, you could have seizures. Now that's what hurt me very much. I stopped the antidepressant suddenly. I never knew about tapering. Doctor never told me this. And for the next 20 years, I was walking around in a stupor. I didn't have seizures, but I had terrible accidents. Terrible. Well, I lost my career, my Jaguar, my penthouse, my family, my marriage, my money. And a lot of money was stolen from me because I didn't have boundaries. And I was all alone, and I wanted people around. I didn't want to be totally rejected, so they got my money. I was taken advantage of. These things had to happen, I guess, to teach me about people and boundaries. And now I got such a high wall behind me and a locked gate, and I've relocated. That never would have happened had I not gone through iatrogenesis, the harm from doctors' treatments. The withdrawal, that's what causes the problem. Withdrawal symptoms are why they go crazy. Do you know that if somebody is on antidepressants for more than 10 years, they have to taper for years? The tapering process for years. That is unbelievable. Just a little bit each day. So little you can hardly see it. It is such a tenuous, dangerous situation, withdrawing, because the body gets accustomed to the drug like it's a part of a house. And when you suddenly stop it, the house implodes. Your whole brain implodes. And all of the disabilities coming from this situation is from the withdrawal. It's an amazing thing. Not as much the drug, but the withdrawal from the drug. You need years for the withdrawal because the withdrawal symptoms are so debilitating. Akathesis, pacing, insomnia, not being able to sleep for a month. Hallucinations, delusions, nightmares. I can't even begin. The list is infinite and dangerous. That's why you need tapering for years. The answer is don't start. But already 1 in 4 older women are on them. They're walking, let's see, 55 million, I think, Americans are on these. And they're affecting another 150 million people because everybody around them is affected by it. A husband is no longer to the woman he married. It's no longer your mother. It's no longer your sister. Now you're in depression. It's a contagious disease. Naive. They try to stop the drugs and they feel horrible. And the doctor says, oh, that's your illness coming back. Better go back on the drugs. No, it's the withdrawal. But they don't see it that way. They are myopic, they are brainwashed, and the patient is brainwashed. He would like to think it was just as easy as taking a pill, rather than years of tapering off, and perhaps having to go into therapy and all kinds of things. Everybody wants to feel it's just an easy fix, but it isn't. How often have you heard when somebody's going crazy, he's off his meds, he's off his meds? No, he's in withdrawal from his meds. He's having trouble withdrawing from the crap he's been overprescribed. Just been corrected. It is 66 million psych-med addicts in America. 66 million. And if you come off too fast, if you don't go to a tapering clinic, you could be bedridden for 2 years. There are many people who, in their early 40s, bedridden. Vertigo takes over. They can't even walk to the bathroom. They would have to be carried to the bathroom. We've all been betrayed by medical authorities. Just say to yourself, I was lost, but now I've been found. It's the scam of the century. It's like a war is being caught in a war. Generations go through various things. Some go through a depression, some go through wars. It's all horrible. And this was your war. Studies show that people with high emotional intelligence often feel very lonely and depressed. Not because they cannot connect to people, but because they have too much awareness. They read between the lines. They understand what is meant by what is not said, by what is delayed. They read everything. They look at somebody and they know all their thoughts. High emotional intelligence. They've got to be alone. But if they don't know what's happening, they may say, gee, I got to get a pill to deal with this depression. And then they're sunk. They are much more affected by this horrible malady of the century. On these drugs, you become disconnected, trapped in a sludgy mess. Your hair falls out, your nails chip off and flake. You have ugly weight gain, some people as much as 70 pounds. It messes with your digestion. Nothing is going through anymore. You don't look like the same person at all. The husband may have married a beautiful woman and now she looks just very unwholesome. We'll put it that way. Gained a lot of weight. It's from these drugs. Look at what I wrote. I feel dead inside. Disconnected. Trapped in a sludgy morass. That's the way I felt. And I couldn't get out of it. And I couldn't explain it to anybody. But if I told the psychiatrist, he would say, see, your illness is coming out. We need another drug. The patient is made to feel it's their fault. Their own faulty biology. Boy, you are sick. I commiserate with you. But you see, you're just sick. We got to get another drug. That's always the way they view it. So you begin to view it the same way. I'm just sunk. I just have faulty biology, that's all. Out of 66 million people and 50,000 patients, there are suicides every 11 minutes. That's what it brings you to. I kept saying for those years, I wish I were dead. And then I would repent to God, I know I shouldn't have said that. I apologize for saying that. I'm grateful for life, all this sort of thing. But I kept saying that. Now I see that was suicidation. Suicidation comes from these drugs. I wish I were dead. I wish I were dead. And then the guilt that would come from saying that. Yeah. And what about the homicide? What about all these shootings? Look into it. They're all on these drugs. They say, we're having a mental health crisis. That's a marketing gimmick. Mental health crisis? No, we don't. We have a crisis of iatrogenesis. Mental disease from the treatment. It's the treatment that is bringing the mental disease. That is the crisis. But if you say that, you're attacked as if you're saying, well, you don't want people to get well. You are trying to prevent people from getting well. You see how they turn it around? The ubiquitization of drugs was shown in the 90s, was declared the decade of the brain. And May is declared Mental Health Awareness Month. It's more industry marketing. It should be Withdrawal Symptoms Awareness Month. And the 90s should have been the decade they killed the brain. It's all marketing. It destroyed my nervous system so much it gave me MCS, multiple chemical sensitivities. I had to detox from coffee, all caffeine, chocolate, which is theobromine, albuterol. I had to, just anything like that. Pot, could not even go near pot. I can't even smoke a pipe that has resin in it. I start shaking and sweating. I start shaking and sweating with caffeine. The nervous system has been so changed that I'm allergic to all chemicals. Everything has to be totally organic with no pesticides that I eat. And even eating has to be too much digestion kills me. I'm just so sensitive now. That is from these drugs.